Hey everyone, it's Dominique from LAFA, Learning About Finland, again, and in this video I'm going to quickly go over, as fast as I can, pasta making. So I already cheated and I started the pasta dough with my bread machine. Some of you might have a pasta setting on your machine, some might not. I use the dough function for the first time because this current bread machine does not have a pasta function, and I didn't like it because it was too long. I left it in there too long, so my dough is a bit dry, but too late. Right now I'm clamping my machine to the table, my pasta machine. In case you're wondering, it's an Atlas 150 by Marcato brand, made in Italy. These run for about 45 to 50 euros, brand new in Finland. I got mine, there we go, sturdy enough. I got mine for 2 euros and 50 cents, secondhand. And there we go. I haven't used it in a while. It's not something you can put in the dishwasher, so you just have to dust it off when you're ready to clean it. So if you want to take a look, the first thing you want to do is take your pasta dough, and mine was in the fridge for a while, and mine's kind of tough, so I'm hoping it will soften up a little bit. You want to take small portions, flatten them out on a well-floured surface and a floured rolling pin. Put it through on setting number 1. You'll see there's setting 1 up until whatever your machine has. Mine has up to 9 settings. The lower the number, the wider the space, the easier it is to fit in thicker pieces of dough. You want to do number 1 a few times, crank it through, and then you want to do the other settings about 2 to 4 times. It depends. The more, the better. The thinner, the better. And then you just remove your handle when you're ready, put it in the other side. There's 2 other holes there. Ta-da! So that controls a wider noodle or a finer noodle. And I'm making, oh, it's very dusty in here. I haven't used it in a while, a few months at least. Yeah, so I'll be using the wider noodle, and let's see how this goes. Like anyone else, I typically buy pasta from the grocery store. It's cheaper, it's faster. Of course, this is very time consuming, and I'm in a rush. And when you're in a rush, it's not a good idea to make pasta, but let's see how this goes. So the wide feature is also good if you want to make lasagna sheets. If you want to make bow ties, of course you would cut it by knife and then pinch them, for example. And ravioli, of course. So there's a wide variety that you can do with a simple hand crank machine. And I learned about it at a previous job. It's something that I've always thought of doing, but never did try to do until I got proper instruction from an old boss of mine. Okay, it's warming up in my hand, so it's becoming more manageable. Let me just move you over here. So what I'm planning, whoops, here we go, sorry about that. What I'm planning to make, and you don't need a big piece either, because it will stretch and it will thin itself out. So what I'm planning to make are Shanghai noodles. So I made barbecue pork, which is just pork loin marinated with some barbecue pork spice that you can buy at any Asian grocery store. It's just a marinade, and as you can see, the dough is becoming bigger, thinner. Yeah, so I marinated barbecue pork for 24 hours, a little over, and then I cut up some vegetables. They're behind me on the counter. And let's see. I'm now on level 3. And a really important thing is the rest of your dough should be kept airtight or wrapped in plastic wrap. That way it doesn't dry out, because it can dry out very, very quickly, regardless of what your climate is like. So, if you wanted to make ravioli, the way I did it in a restaurant was we had very long sheets, and then we put a spoonful of filling in various intervals. Just had a shower, and I'm gonna get flour all over my face, but that's pasta making for you. Anyway, so we had put the fillings in certain intervals, and we made the sheet as wide as we could, and then we folded it over, and then we just took a glass with a nice rim, and we dusted it in flour, and we just cut it like so. And it worked just fine. It wasn't like traditional ravioli shape, it was more like half circles. But of course, you can buy, if I can find it, here we are. You can definitely buy like pasta stamps, or cookie cutters work just as fine too. I find this is not very sharp, and no matter how much weight I put onto it, it still doesn't cut all the way through. So I always make sure I have like a little knife with me to cut around the edges. But I still love it. It's still awesome. It's one of my favorite presents I got from one of my best friends. So yeah. But right, so I'm doing Shanghai noodles. So pretty much an Asian style wide noodle. And then I plan on cooking it with, I need to make two kinds actually. My friend is coming over with her fiance, and he is vegetarian. He does eat eggs, but he doesn't eat meat. So her and I will have the barbecue pork version, and he will have the egg version with vegetables, and ours will have veggies as well. So I'm really glad I pre-cut all the vegetables. And one thing you'll notice here, as I'm cranking, hopefully my phone doesn't fall, but as I'm cranking, and as it gets longer, it's going to fold onto itself. So you want to be very careful it doesn't stick. And to prevent sticking, see, it's starting to fold on itself. You want to immediately and carefully pull it straight out, so that way it doesn't stick to itself. And just making sure there's some flour on the table or your work surface helps as well. Now there are such things as, I'm now on level 6, there are such things as an electric pasta machine. The same best friend that got me the ravioli stamp cutter, she has one. It's amazing. It's fantastic. You just have to be very careful of the amount of ingredients you put in. Make sure it's all measured properly. On to level 7. I think I'm going to stop at level 7 because I'm in a bit of a rush, because my friend also has an allergy to flour in the air. So I don't want her to get sick before we even eat supper. So I'll just go up to level 7 or so. But as you can see, it's getting very thin with every crank I go through. But yeah, electric pasta machine, really cool, really amazing. Really quick, really convenient, saves time, and I definitely would get one, but it does take space. Here we go, let me move you over a little bit so you can see what I'm seeing without falling over. Ta-da! Okay, so you can see here, the pasta noodles are coming out beautifully. And I'm just going to make sure my hands are coated in flour. And there we have it. Ta-da! So do this on repeat until you have as many noodles as you need. Coat them well in flour. You can freeze these instead of cooking them. You can buy some kind of fancy pasta hanger, so that way you can hang your noodles and then they dry, and then you'll have fresh pasta when you need it. Bear in mind, it does contain, most pasta recipes contain eggs, fresh eggs, so you want to be mindful of that. But for me, I'm just going to use it today. so I'm not too worried about it. And I'm just going to put it on a plate, and then it will be ready to put into a pot of boiling salted water. And there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.